Welcome back to In the Slant. As always, I'm joined by Dustin and Jared. Week 2 is over, or week 3 is over. The season is already flying by. Before we get the video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one. Of course, subscribe if you are new around here. As always, greatly appreciated. Last week in picking games, Jared went 7-9, Dustin went 7-9, and I went 8-8. So it was kind of rough all around for most of us.
Too many upsets this week.
a lot of upsets for sure. So we're going to go game by game today, take our biggest takeaways, and then obviously tomorrow, like usual, we're going to predict week 4, and we'll see how right we are. So just jumping right into it, Thursday Night Football, Browns versus Steelers. I want to go ahead and quickly start with the crazy play at the end with the Browns recovering it. That helped me in fantasy because I started the Browns defense. But other than that, the Browns looked good without Watson. Jacoby Brissett looks pretty solid. The Steelers offense is still very much struggling. I mean, George Pickens is getting frustrated with Mitchell Trubisky, and I think the Browns honestly might be able to hang on until Watson gets back with Brissett. I mean, he's always been pretty solid, so.
And I mean, like the Browns defense is always super solid too. So I mean, it's like the defense can help them carry games alone.
I'm really loving how Cooper's just adjusting to that offense. He's doing really great with them, and I love to see
Amari
that.
Cooper,
yeah, because I have him on fantasy too, so that really.
David Njoku had a great game as well. So
Same with Chubb.
The Browns offense looked awesome. Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. The Steelers are, like I said, man.
But are you riding the hype on David Njoku? I don't know.
I feel like he's a decent tight end. He fits, he fits the Browns.
I mean, he got paid, so
they franchise tagged him for a reason, so they had to keep him around. But the Steelers, I'm still questioning. Maybe we're gonna bring it up every time every time they lose. Is Kenny Pickett gonna be in there eventually? Because the Steelers' offense with Trubisky,
I just don't get what they're like. I'm not saying that Mitchell Trubisky has looked like completely terrible, but he hasn't looked great. And I'm not saying that Kenny Pickett's gonna go out there and look great either. But I mean, you might as well. I mean, you drafted him, you might as well play him at this point. If you're not gonna do good, you might as well.
I say if the record doesn't improve towards the end of the season, he'll start.
Like this is gonna be my crazy call. If the Steelers don't win this next week's game, they have to start Kenny Pickett.
They play the Jets, so that's a must-win.
Yeah,
he's not coming in after that game.
I wonder if Zach Wilson comes back that game.
I think he does. I think they say he's supposed to come back week 4.
Okay.
You really think Kenny Pickett's gonna come in that early?
No.
Yeah, I think if they lose next week,
maybe.
I don't think. I think at the end of the season.
What's the point of riding with Mitchell Trubisky all year if you guys ain't gonna do shit anyways?
Because Mike Tomlin wins all the time. I mean, he's been 500 his whole career, over 500.
Well, he's about to not be if he keeps on starting Mitchell Trubisky.
Commanders versus Eagles. Obviously, me being a Commanders fan, you'd expect me to have a lot to say, and I do. But if I did sit here and talk about it, we'd be here all day. So I'm just going to simply say the Eagles are a fantastic team. The Commanders fucking suck, and I will just... Dude, they took the life out of me on Sunday. My Sunday was absolutely awful. I was down bad, down horrendous. The Commanders Carson Wentz got sacked 9 times, some of them being his fault. The O-line looks trash. We didn't sign Brandon Sheriff. We let Eric Flowers go. There's a lot I could say. Honestly, after seeing Sunday, I'm over this coaching staff, and I want them gone. And it's crazy for me to say that because I've always liked Ron Rivera. But after this, man, you come into another season looking terrible. It's supposed to be a year where we're supposed to be decent. Obviously, I'm gonna have to deal with them for the rest of the year. I don't see us firing him right now, obviously. So, not much to say. Eagles are good. Commanders, they let me down once again. Well, I mean, I shouldn't be too surprised though, to be honest with you. So.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't get around to watching the game. Obviously, the Raiders game was going on at the same time, so I was watching that one. But just as like what Brady said, the defense has usually been super solid every year, and lately the defense has just not, even like towards last year too, they weren't even playing that great. So I don't know what's going on with Washington's defense. That's the one thing they usually had going for them, and their defense.
I think it's the coaching, man. And then Ron Rivera just refuses to sign any veterans. He just signs like I was telling you guys, he signs dudes off the street that don't play a game, and he thinks he can develop them. Like you got a guy named Wild Goose, never played a damn snap in the NFL. Hey, go guard AJ Brown. Let's see how that goes. And he gets 2 PIs.
I know you're paying from last year. We did the same shit, bringing corners out to cover these all-star receivers. Didn't work out. Now, I know I didn't watch the game with Brady, but I did have an Eagles fan over, and he was obviously happy, but I knew Brady was at home in shambles over this whole game. Devontae Smith did look great. I liked the way he was playing. AJ Brown.
He looked great too. First half, 150 yards.
Yeah, that was insane.
If you play fantasy, start whatever you want against Washington every week. It's gonna go. They're gonna go off.
I was literally looking at like the people's like fantasy chats, on the Yahoo Fantasy app. People are literally like, do I pick up Devontae Smith from like free agent? I'm like, how the heck is he sitting in free agent?
I feel like that's some tiny leagues.
Some people were dropping him. But let's move on to Saints versus Panthers. Saints dropped 2 wins in a row. One thing you can say though is Chris Olave has looked really good.
Really good, yep.
DJ Moore, man, he has been dead in fantasy. I'm
not starting him next week. I can't. I'm literally starting. I'd rather start somebody I'm about to pick up in free agency over him.
But McCaffrey had a good game on the ground.
Yeah.
The Panthers get their first win with Baker Mayfield, and then obviously the Saints dropping 2 in a row. They're going to need a win, and as they play in London next week, because like I said, the Saints kind of went all in on draft day. They made a crazy trade to move up with the Eagles, and so far 1-2, obviously early on, but the Saints definitely need another victory. I didn't get around to watch this game much, obviously. So it's kind of impossible to watch every single game, but do you guys have anything to add to this one?
Baker, I don't know what you're. I checked both Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore's receiving points this week, and I don't know how you guys.
I know McCaffrey had a good game.
Besides McCaffrey having a good game, I don't know how your guys' offense gets going. Obviously, if you're playing against the Panthers every week, I feel like it's the same thing with the Titans. You stop their running back, you win the game, because at this point, Baker Mayfield's basically pulling the OBJ on DJ Moore. Everyone knows he's good, but for some reason, him and Baker Mayfield can't connect at all. So
I didn't watch this game much at all, but like Dustin said, I assumed it was just the run game that beat up the Saints. Like I said, I didn't watch much of it, so
I literally just checked those. I mean, I didn't check any other receiver on their team, but I checked those two, and they had nothing. So
okay, so
Texans versus Bears. The Bears are 2-1 right now, with Justin Fields barely throwing the football. I think their schedule has been kind of, easier though, I would say. Obviously, they dropped to the Green Bay Packers.
Well, because they beat the 49ers week 1, but it was like a rainy game.
But that game, you could argue that 49ers should have won that game, which we'll get to them later for sure. We have a lot to say about the 49ers, but Khalil Herbert looked amazing in the absence of Montgomery going down. Obviously, he's going to be, if you're a fantasy person, you're going to be looking to add him if he's on the waiver wire. But not much to say about this one. The Bears, like I said, being 2-1 is impressive so far. Except
Bears fans or Bear organization. Let me just say this. I'm not saying David Montgomery's a bad running back. Khalil Herbert brings so much more energy and electrifying pace. If you guys ain't starting him by this coming week, I don't know what y'all are doing. And you Bear fans better be mad. I'm not, David Montgomery's a great backup for him, and David Montgomery could be a starter on another team, but he's just not.
He's hurt now, ain't he?
He's day to day, so we don't know exactly. A lot of running backs got hurt this week, honestly. But the biggest upset of the week, you can make an argument maybe another one was a little bit of more of an upset, but the Colts beat the Chiefs. So the Colts we left for dead. We thought, man, this team is disappointing. There's no way they're going to beat the Chiefs, and they get it done. They beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in an absolute must-win for Indianapolis. Like I said, we left this team for dead. And they got it done. So shout out to the Colts for sure.
So I actually watched this game. I'm not going to say I watched the whole game because I honestly thought it was going to be a blowout. But once it got third quarter, once it was halftime, I saw the game was still close. I was like, oh, whatever. I was watching the Raiders game on my computer. I was like, I can watch the Raiders game and watch the Chiefs game on my phone. And honestly, the Colts defense was kind of impressive for me, at least. I guess they were doing really good on locking him up. Like I said, I will say, Chris Jones threw the game completely away for the Chiefs. They literally fourth down, he gets a sack on Matt Ryan. Literally starts talking crap to him, gets a
taunting,
and then they literally fourth down too. They were kicking the ball, and then that drive it led to a touchdown, which gave him the lead. So honestly, the only thing I gotta take away from that, Chiefs fans, Chris Jones threw that game for you guys. I mean, you guys had it in the bag, I think, in my opinion, until that happened.
Just a bad game by the Chiefs. Nobody in the world thought the Colts were going to win.
I didn't think that either. I mean, like I said, they've been losing, and they tied with the Texans and Jaguars, which are supposedly two of the worst teams, which we got to talk about the Jaguars, but still.
But as we've seen at the end, Mahomes had the ball. We all thought there might be a chance they can still win the game, but he threw that interception, which sealed the game for the Colts. Good W for them, but
yeah, it's a big win.
I don't see them still at the top of the league at all soon, ever.
At least this year. Congratulations
on
the
AFC South on top. I mean, the AFC West, everyone lost.
So the Colts are 1-1-1 now.
Yep. So, like I said, I was kind of hinting at this other upset, which this was Miami Dolphins versus Bills. This was the game I was paying attention to the most on Sunday. Josh Allen threw the ball 63 times.
Really?
Josh Allen threw the ball 63 times. This was literally insane. The Tua concussion, which I don't know if you guys saw that, where
that was crazy.
A lot of people are talking about how he was able to get back in the game is crazy because he got up and then literally
fell right
back down. It was so bizarre, but he was able to come back at halftime, which was insane. The Bills had so many miscues. Josh Allen literally has a chance to win the game at the end. You had the butt punt or whatever they call it, or calling it right now. There was so much to talk about with this game. The Tyreek Hill didn't do too much, but Jalen Waddle had a couple really nice bomb catches. But Josh Allen, like I said, he had a chance to win it at the end. And this is just unlike Josh Allen. He throws it short of, I forget who it was. I think it was maybe Singletary. I can't remember exactly who it was. Crowder. One of those guys is open in the corner of the end zone, throws it, and it literally just like skips. Kind of like that when they made fun of Tua when he threw it really short. This is exactly how it looked. And I saw some people saying if it was Tua that threw that, everyone would be making a big deal out of it. But since it's Josh Allen, which is true, it is very true. But Josh Allen has earned that respect already. And then the Bills offense coordinator, if you guys saw that video, just absolutely pissed.
Oh, yeah. Slamming his hand on the desk and stuff.
But I will say, though, like, Miami did get the win, but I still do think the Bills are a better team. You're missing 2 big assets for your team against that game, in that game on defense. 3.
Oh, yeah, their defenders all gone.
Yeah, like,
Tre'Davious White.
Yeah, Porter, and then they're at Micah Hyde's out, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, good win for the Dolphins, but I think you scraped by on getting lucky that the defense was injured again like you did last week. So
yeah, I still have the Bills. If this game was a repeat and the Bills were healthy and they had their defense, I think they'd still smoke the Miami. I don't believe in Miami still yet after what happened to us, but you guys can say whatever.
He didn't have the same aspect as me.
I'm gonna quote Jared. Wait, no, go ahead.
Remember the same aspect of me? I was dissing the Cardinals all offseason, then we lost them. I was like, I'm picking the Cardinals to beat the Riffs.
I'm gonna quote Jared. The Bills will get their lick back when they go to Buffalo.
They will.
Yeah, because I feel like the Bills will be looking for revenge when that time comes. But the Dolphins and the Eagles are the only undefeated teams left. So shout out to the Dolphins. They play on Thursday, which should be a very fun game. Lions versus Vikings. Lions lose another close one. It looked like they were leading most of this game. Swift and Dalvin Cook both go down in this game, but like I said, the Vikings get a win. So that's another huge win in the division for them being 2-1 with the Green Bay Packers. So now you have basically the Lions are 1-2, 2-1 Bears, 2-1 Packers, and 2-1 Vikings. So the NFC North looks pretty good right now, I will say. Then Jeffrey Okudah has been playing great. I mean, the man, I don't know if you guys know much about him, but like he's been injured a lot. But lately he's been doing pretty good. He's
like the 3rd overall pick, right?
Or I can't remember exactly what pick he was, but yeah, he was a really high touted drafted corner. And then he'd always get hurt, but he did a great job on Terry McLaurin last week. And then he locked up Jefferson. I mean, Jared, you know about that.
That's his second quiet game, which I did not expect at all. He made me lose in fantasy. He had about a solid 4 points.
Yeah. But I will say,
this is crazy.
But you can't blame, like, dude, these corners that have been on Justin Jefferson these last 2 weeks are super solid. I mean, you have Darius Slay last week, and then you have Jeff Okudah this weekend. Like he was one of the best he was one of the highest drafted cornerback prospects in so long. Like he was literally that good of a prospect coming out of college.
So I'm glad he's finally playing well, honestly. So. But not much to say. I mean, like I said, the NFC North, the Lions, I still believe in the Lions, just like you. 100%. I still think they're a pretty good team. Definitely sucks they're 1-2, but I think they'll bounce back. I still like what they have on that roster for sure. But shout out to the Vikings. They needed a win after that Monday night debacle. They looked horrible. But that, you could say, is Kirk Cousins in primetime, and he gets to play in primetime again next Sunday, I guess.
But Jefferson's going to look. I feel like Jefferson will come back. I mean.
Marshawn, he does draw the assignment of Marshawn Lattimore, so we'll see.
Man.
That's another tough corner.
They must study hard for this man.
Ravens versus Patriots. Woo! All right, Jared. I mean, I know for sure you're watching this game. Lamar, I have to say, is having an MVP season. I'm glad I have him in fantasy. And then Mac Jones gets hurt with an ankle, I believe it was, and it looks like he's not going to be playing week 4, so that sucks.
I thought I said a couple of weeks he might be out.
Probably more than that, honestly. I just saw he wasn't playing at least week 4.
It wasn't like a high ankle sprain, yeah.
Mark Andrews had a great game, but, I mean, Lamar, what do you think about Lamar so far, man?
I just want to say, first off, our defense was not playing great at all until the second half. Then they ended up balling out. Lamar, again, is playing great. The team is definitely going to regret not paying him before the start of this season, because if he ends up winning MVP, his price is just going to continue to go up. Also, I want to say that J.K. Dobbins looked great. He came back. Obviously, he didn't get the ball as much. He's still coming off that major injury. And John Harbaugh got his 150 win. I don't know if you guys care about that at all, but I just thought that was something cool to put out there. But like I said, our defense, they had 5 turnovers, I think, which was great from how the first half started. It was looking ugly, but then we came back. We won the game. I was afraid at first that we might lose to the Patriots. Oh, man, I was going to be pissed. But
remember what I told you? As long as they keep you guys under 20, it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, we literally said that last week. You said if it's a high-scoring game, I think it favors you guys for sure.
Which actually, I didn't even know what the score was, honestly, because I just knew you guys won. But looking at it, I'm surprised the Patriots scored over 20 points. I mean, congratulations, Patriots.
Devontae Parker
I was just about to say, Devontae Parker had like 150 receiving yards.
He was
he was going crazy. I saw that. So
But one shout out to Marcus Williams because I'm so glad we got him. He's balling the hell out. He's one of our best defensive players.
I wanted
right
him in free agency, but
yeah, he's
we
a
all
great
did.
signing.
you know, he's not a Panther, so Ron Rivera won't sign him if he's not a former Panther. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
Maybe
we only
you guys
go for former Patriots.
Maybe you guys will get Cam Newton or something.
I know I'm surprised that never happened, honestly. But next game, Bengals. I almost skipped over this one. Bengals versus Jets.
I didn't watch him, I'll be honest. So.
The Jets will get Zach Wilson in week 4. The Bengals finally get a win. T. Higgins had an amazing catch. Apparently, that did not count because I don't know what the exact rule was, but like apparently his ankle. I don't know, man. It was a great catch, but the Bengals get a much needed win as they get to play Thursday night against the Dolphins, which that game is gonna be a lot of fun to predict. But the Jets, unfortunately, fall short, and the Bengals. I don't really have much to say about this game, honestly.
I mean,
this was a game the Bengals needed to win.
I know Joe Burrow was throwing some good deep balls, so that's good.
I think I'd have more to say on it if Zach Wilson was playing, but since you guys still Joe Flacco out there, I got nothing to say about this game. If Joe Burrow lost this game somehow, it was not gonna.
Yeah,
good.
I mean Joe Mixon got hurt, I believe, as well. But apparently they said he's gonna play Thursday. So like I said, another running back that got hurt. A lot of running back injuries this week. But next one, Dustin, I know you probably don't want to talk about this one too much. The Raiders are the only 0-3 team. And I'm not going to lie to you, my Commanders should probably be 0-3 with you. So we got a fluky win against Jacksonville. I call it a fluke now that I see through all the BS. But Raiders versus Titans, Derrick Henry had a good game, which results in the Raiders missing the 2-point conversion at the end, I believe it was, wasn't it? And because they tried to get it to Darren Waller.
Yeah, and he literally just dropped it.
And
let me just say something. I got
hold
some
on,
things.
real quick. I want to say I feel like it's just Dustin's luck because Derrick Henry was not doing great the first 2 weeks, and then just magically when they play the Raiders,
We said that
goes
if
off.
Derrick Henry has a good game, that's going to be.
What did
problem.
I tell you guys? I literally told you guys on last week. I said if we can't stop, I was like we couldn't stop Darrell Williams for the Cardinals, a backup running back. How the heck are we stopping Derrick Henry? We couldn't. So that's kind of what happened. I will say, Derek Carr hasn't been playing great like he did last year. He hasn't been playing terrible every game. I know every Raiders fan and stuff wants to get rid of Carr. That's how it is every year. If Carr plays bad, that's how every Raiders fan is. But our defense could not stop Derrick Henry. The wide receivers were doing pretty solid on us too. We did have 2 cornerback injuries though, so that didn't help. Nate Hall was basically one of our best, or probably our second best defensive player. He ended up getting injured that game with a concussion. Hopefully he comes back this week. But we cannot lock him up. Darren Waller dropped 2 touchdown passes for us. 2, one of them being the 2-point conversion. Well, it wasn't a touchdown, but it would have tied the game for us. And then he dropped a wide open touchdown pass. So Darren Waller, basically every guy we've been paying has been playing terrible that we had from last year. Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Max Crosby still a dog. Chandler Jones has been a terrible signing. The offensive play calling has been terrible as well. I don't know what. This man, Josh McDaniels, throws Brandon Bolden out there every big play, every third and 5, whatever. Brandon Bolden's out there over Josh Jacobs, who's running for yards every play. Why do you have Brandon Bolden out there when Josh Jacobs is running for yards every play? Like, this guy just jerks off to Patriots players, and I'm sick of it. And I'm just sick of his offensive play calling. If he doesn't step up, I'm over.
I also saw that Derrick Henry had a couple of crazy receptions, which is
he did.
Unlike
catching the
Derrick
ball,
Henry.
huh?
Yeah. So
we
got Derrick Henry back there.
Shout out to him. But one of your guys' receivers, I don't know what's his name.
Matt
Matt
Collins.
Collins.
Yeah, it seemed like he had
He's
a
a
great
dog.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah. Dog.
that was I literally had him written down, but. Yeah, man, the Raiders being 0-3 does not feel right. It does not feel right.
If we lose this week, you're done seeing me on this podcast. I'm done picking them every week because obviously something's going on in this organization where we can't win. If we can't beat these Broncos this week against that have been looking terrible, I'm done. Like the playoff hope's over. I'm just over.
I'm honestly in shock. I do not think the Raiders would be sitting at this position right now being 0-3.
too.
Like it was
At
3
all.
tough games. Like obviously we think the Titans are gonna be 0-2 coming into the season, and it's been 3 good teams we played. But how the Titans looked in those first 2 weeks, that was a must-win game.
I will say you guys have been losing by small deficits,
Yes.
like 1 possession games, so that definitely is heartbreaking. So it's better
That's the
than
worst.
losing. It's better than getting blown out, or I don't know. You can make an argument that maybe
I'd rather
would be
get blown out than come to the very end and be like, dude, we could have almost won that. Because then you're just thinking, what if we did this? What if we did that?
The pass that it dropped, people were complaining about Carr because he threw a bullet pass to Darren Waller, and it was right to his hands though, but he missed it. But see, people are like, "Oh, that was Derek Carr's fault." My man's the highest paid tight end in the league. You gotta catch that ball. You're literally in the it's literally in the end zone. You think there's not gonna be coverage on you? Of course, Derek Carr's gonna have to throw a dot to him like that.
Yeah, he killed me in fantasy too.
Well, let's move on to another AFC West opponent, or another AFC West team. The Chargers fall to the Jacksonville Jaguars. We gotta ask ourselves: are the Jaguars legit, man?
Herbert's hurt. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Herbert's playing injured. That's for sure.
He looked
They had no
terrible,
Keenan
too.
Allen.
J.C. Jackson, is he back?
Yeah, he's been bad.
Yeah, they
Okay.
have no Joey Bosa left this game early, but like I
No
said, we didn't
Allen,
give the
no
Jaguars a
Herbert.
chance in this game. Even we said
we
that if
didn't.
Chase Daniel or you said, I remember you saying this exactly. If Chase Daniel was playing, you're still picking the
Yeah,
Chargers.
but I also said that's if Keenan Allen's came back.
That is
and,
true.
And
We
he
picked
didn't
it way
come-
too early to know if Keenan Allen was playing or not.
And
So
I thought he was like, I had him in my starting lineup until literally like Sunday morning. When it was like he was rolled out. I was like, okay.
And I can name a player who's catch us all by surprise, like James Robinson.
for
sure.
Dude, James Robinson looked awesome. Zay Jones has been a really good addition for the Jaguars. Christian Kirk is living up to his contract so far. I mean, the Jaguars
yeah.
are rolling, man. Doug Peterson has been playing well.
I just want everyone to shout out Derek Carr for getting all these receivers paid. Nelson Aguilar, Zay Jones. I mean, without Carr, y'all aren't getting paid. That's all I gotta say.
But no, the Jaguars, in my opinion, low-key should be 3-0. I mean,
Yeah, no, they
Washington
should.
gave them many chances to win that game. They shot themselves in the foot. So we should really be talking about the Jaguars on how good of a team they might be this year. Like, I'm very excited. They get to play the Eagles, I think, next week, if not mistaken. So that will be a really fun game.
Oh yeah.
But, I mean, I think we'll get to that game. But next one, Rams versus Cardinals. The only takeaway I really had from this game is the Cardinals just what happened, man? Last week they looked amazing against the Raiders in that second half, and then now it's just back to being weird.
they were
where the
Yeah.
offense
It's
not
like
looking
yeah,
good.
offense can't
Marquise
convert.
Brown had a fantastic
I,
game.
I thought they were gonna get some hype because they beat us like in that game and their offense was flowing. That's why I literally picked them. But like their offense literally just went back to what it was week 1 against the Chiefs and couldn't get anything going. So
I feel like obviously with two of their key starters out, I think it obviously creates some inconsistency on their offense.
Yeah,
but they
Rondale
still have
Moore,
so many
D-Hop.
weapons
Yeah.
though.
I
Like,
Yeah,
mean,
Marquise Brown.
kinda.
AJ Green, I think, left the game early
Yeah,
too.
it looked like he was hurt.
Well, like I said, Marquise Brown had a great game. I know that from fantasy.
and Dorchich has been going off too.
Yep. So I feel like Kyler Murray, I don't know, like everybody makes the, stupid meme that, it was double XP Wars Modern Warfare 2 beta weekend, which is why he's been playing well. But
Game's trash. I don't know why he played anyways.
But I don't know, man. The Cardinals need to get it together. That's all I got to say. Shout out to the Rams for getting another win like they're supposed to. You guys have anything else to add to that one?
I didn't really get to watch it, unfortunately.
I watched a little bit of it, but like I said, Kyler Murray, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Arizona, but they just need to get it together, man.
Mhm.
I thought they were going to get it together after that huge win over you guys, but they just look stagnant.
That's why
again.
I picked them, man, because I just thought they were gonna have the hype going in.
Yep. Falcons versus Seahawks. This game was it's kind of funny because I watched this whole game because I have Kyle Pitts in fantasy, so I was like freaking out about how they were using him. He got a little bit more usage, but all I really have to say is, like I said, Kyle Pitts got more involved with this win, and then Drake London had a great touchdown.
Marcus had a great game. It looked like
Mariota had a pretty good game. The Seahawks, Falcons versus Seahawks, two teams were not really.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch the game at all, but I did start Marcus Mariota in fantasy this week.
I was just watching for Drake London. I think like, these are just two teams that are kind of like evened out, so it's like an even battle. So
Yeah, Mariota didn't even throw the ball that much. They ran the ball very successfully. The Falcons did, but they got a huge win over Seattle. I mean, I like the Falcons roster. I think that Kyle Pitts and Drake London's a great start to their rebuild process, and if Desmond Ridder ever gets in there,
and they
I mean,
have some solid young, good defense pieces too. That
AJ
are,
Terrell,
Yeah,
so,
AJ
I mean,
Terrell.
a lot
so.
to be excited about in Atlanta.
This might not be your guys' year, Atlanta, but give it like 2 years, and you guys are gonna be.
I'm really excited. I mean, starting your rebuild with Drake London and Kyle Pitts, that's amazing. I love that for them. Packers versus Bucks. This game was supposed to be like a really good game, but we kind of knew going into this might be an ugly game because all the weapons being out, obviously. The Packers aren't really missing anybody. It's just the whole Devontae Adams still, kind of solving that. But Romeo Doubs looked amazing. He stepped up. And then the Bucks, I mean, they're missing Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Julio. But, I mean, it feels like when Tom Brady doesn't have his weapons, things just don't go well. They still had a chance to win this game.
Yeah, it was
This
close.
was just an ugly game,
Yeah. It
honestly,
was.
all around. Very ugly. But I know you said you had a lot to say
well,
about
I
the
just had
Buccaneers.
something to say for Tom Brady. I mean, I feel like definitely if he had his targets, he'd win the game. He was throwing to Cole Beasley, a guy that just probably came off the couch about a week ago.
Yeah.
was
He
throwing
really
to
did,
Scotty
too.
Miller, like these guys are nothing compared to Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. So I guess I can kind of blame this on his core not being there. But yeah.
I mean, we knew that going into this game that the Bucks defense was real.
Yeah.
And the Bucks defense did their job on holding them back. It's just unfortunately for the Bucks this week that they just didn't have the offensive power
Offense is
to.
not looking good for the Buccaneers. Like,
Yeah.
I think they've only scored. Well, before this game, they only scored one touchdown, and that was against Dallas. Like, it just hasn't
they
been very fluent for
they
the.
haven't scored much on offense.
Yeah, hopefully Godwin comes back this week because I feel like they need Mike Evans and Godwin back.
Mike
to
Evans,
see
once
the,
they
And
do
Julio's expected to play, so like,
Once he gets his target back, I feel like they'll be right back on the road. Like Dustin said, their defense is great. So.
yeah, if if they don't get together soon, I will be concerned. But like I said, if they're about to have Julio, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin back out there with
I think
Russell
I
Gage,
think they're all coming back this week too.
Yeah, so
Hey, guys,
I
or
don't
at
know
least
about
Godwin is too.
I know Julio's expected to play apparently, and I know
Mike
Evans
Evans
will be back.
And I'm pretty sure from what I've been seeing in reports that Chris Godwin has, because I obviously have him on fantasy team, he has been practicing on and off, limited for sure, but hopefully he'll be coming back. He was practicing on and off last week too, so hopefully he'll
And
be
guys,
good.
they have the greatest quarterback ever. You can't count them out.
Yeah, no,
You don't
I'm
bet
definitely-
against Tom Brady.
I'm not counting out the Bucks at all, for sure. I'm not. But next game, Sunday Night Football.
Dude, this was probably the greatest game of the night. Actually, of the day.
Really?
Maybe of the year.
Dude,
No,
this game was
ass.
so freaking ugly. We said Packers versus Bucks was ugly. This was even uglier, man. I have so much to say with this game. Like, we got to start with one side of the ball and then go to the other side, right? We got to talk about each team individually. Let's talk about the Broncos first. The Broncos offense has just looked atrocious, man. It has not. Russell Wilson has not looked good. We said that we said that the Broncos have not looked good on offense, and they haven't. This game was like a finish of 10-11 or something.
10-11, yeah.
Yeah, that was the finish of this game. It has not been pretty for the Broncos at all.
Any Broncos fan who is happy about this win, you should not be happy. This was like Brady said, a terrible game. And they paid Russell Wilson all this money. They might as well pay that shit to their damn punter.
Yeah, that's what Eli Manning literally said.
Yeah, that's what I seen. That was funny.
I was watching that game like on and off like randomly. It was just so boring. I couldn't even watch it. Like, even though I had Albert O playing, but I just know I dropped him today. I can't trust Russ. $250 million for what? I mean, yeah, we paid Carr and he has been performing, but we paid Carr way less than Russell Wilson got paid. So
I will say, like I say, Russell Wilson does tend to start slow every year, but this is just
is
a new low.
Brady, I get that you start slow,
I'm saying
but
that it's a new low. I know that for a fact. I'm not defending him in any way. I think this is a terrible start, and it needs to get going fast. If they play like this against you guys next week, you guys need to beat them. If you don't, then
if the Raiders do not beat the Broncos, we're crossing.
But then I
out.
can always see like, what if the Broncos just start to gel and
Bro,
then
they
it's
ain't
just...
about to gel none. They look like shit for 3 weeks.
All right, but let's talk about the 49ers. Jimmy G, man, like we were like, okay, now that Jimmy G is in, everyone, Trey Lance is gone. Like Trey Lance wasn't ready or whatever it may be. Jimmy G gets in there. He steps out of bounds and throws a pick six in the same play.
Yeah, that was terrible.
A safety and a pick six in the same play. Oh my! There's just so much. Jimmy G. It's just Kyle Shanahan has to be throwing his hands up in the air on what to do with this guy. Like what the?
Did you see that meme? It was like because he stepped on like the racism part. He said this said Jimmy G stepping on racism or something.
He did one thing right all night.
Yeah, I mean Debo got the ball a lot, so that's an intriguing sign.
Still using him as a running back, it seems.
Yeah, and
I mean they have to.
He was complaining about not being used,
right?
but now he is being used again. So I guess he just want to get paid at the end of the day for him, apparently.
Like
but
he's got paid. He's like, I gotta do whatever. He's like, I gotta do something to make this team win. So
yeah, but Kyle Shanahan, man, he's gonna have his hands full this year with Jimmy G if he's gonna keep playing like that, man. You gotta have some awareness at this point in your career to not step.
Especially you've played for so long, Jimmy G. Like I'm not even lying.
Dan Orlovsky was happy. The guy that did it originally. He tweeted he was so happy.
Dude, he was. People were like, I saw people were like adding him on Twitter and stuff, and like, was this worse or better than your play? He's like, oh, my play was better than this one.
All right. To end off week 3, Cowboys versus Giants.
Another boring game. I'm sorry.
No, I thought it was fun. I actually feel really bad for Giants fans, to be honest with you, because one, Sterling Shepard getting hurt sucks. Kenny Galladay being paid and looks terrible. But I thought this was a game that Giants fans were going to be super, super ecstatic about winning because, like I said, they're 2-0. Things are starting to look like they're turning around. You get Dallas without Dak Prescott at home. This is a game you should win. It's going to put you right in contention with the Eagles, but you come up short and lose to Cooper Rush and the Cowboys.
What do you mean you're playing against the next Tom Brady?
Cooper Rush is next Tom Brady?
Yeah.
No, Cooper Rush, I will say, Cooper Rush has looked good. But I feel like Giants fans obviously like really wanted this one really badly. Like if I was a Giants fan, I'm like, man, we're 2-0. We can get to 3-0. Like this would be the first time in a while. Like, we got a perfect opportunity to go 3-0 here, and we just don't get it done. That'd just be heartbreaking. But, I mean, like I said, it's still, got a whole nother season. But the Cowboys' defense has looked great. Cooper Rush has done a great job.
Same with the Giants' defense, I will say. They've looked good, too.
So, I mean, not like I said, Cowboys, they get the Commanders next week. I don't know who the Giants play next week. I'll have to look into that. But do you know who they play next week?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. But other than that, I said, man.
Bears.
So, see, that's a game. Yeah, I should have known that. That's a game they can bounce back with. But, I I don't know, man. Sucks for the Giants. Sterling Shepard going down. Anything else you guys have to add to this?
Saquon looked great.
Oh, yeah, Saquon looked
Barkley
amazing.
Looked good again, finally.
CD with an amazing catch.
And then an amazing drop as well when he dropped it when he was deep downfield. But,
wide
but I guess he
open.
made up for it with that one-hander.
Yeah, for sure. Kenny Galladay.
72 mil, is that what it is? For
I
what?
remember when that man got paid, man. Like, he just hasn't done nothing.
And I think he was talking about he wanted to be involved more, and he's catching balls and dropping them. You guys see the clip of when he caught it and is like fumbling in his hands?
No.
Oh, man.
Dude, you know what was crazy? I heard like that, like it was like a week or two ago that he didn't really get any like many snaps, and then he like complained
That's
about
what I
it,
was
and that's
talking
what
about,
he was like.
Exactly. And the Cowboys right now have I think lead the league in sacks. Apparently, they got a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones.
Micah Parsons
Which Daniel
is a
Jones
stud.
Yeah, Daniel Jones looked pretty decent last night, I will say. It's not like I'm not saying he's like the franchise quarterback now, but he definitely had some other than that interception at the end. But I mean, the receiver fell. But Daniel Jones rushing, I mean, he looked pretty good running on the ground and stuff.
Daniel Jones has looked better.
Another upside for the Giants. Did they get back their first round pick? Didn't they? Didn't he come back?
What's his name? I know.
Oh yeah, they got Kayvon Thibodeau
and
Azeez Ojulari as well. Both their pass rushers, so that was big for them.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, like I said, the Cowboys, I'm deathly afraid for next week. I've been saying it, but I think Carson Wentz just got sacked 9 times. The Cowboys lead the league in sacks. Michael Parsons might break the single game sack record. I don't know.
I'm picking up on defense.
Yeah,
so.
no,
they already picked up.
They already owned in our league. I
almost lost to him yesterday.
All right, but I think that's gonna end off our week 3 recap. So tomorrow, obviously, you're gonna be predicting our week 4 games. So that'll be it. Unless you guys have anything else to add. All right. Nope. Nothing?
Nope.
This is in the Slant saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and click here to subscribe and, of course, to watch some more.